Hi, today I want to share with you the final sketchbook of my dissertation study. And this book is a much slimmer volume. It was built by removing the pages from an existing book, and then I cut slits here, created a book block, and I sewed it together in the book. And then where I had torn out the pages, I have the torn edges here and sort of inserted that new text block within those outside pages. The imagery in this book is all of a communications theme. There's another like roads kind of theme that goes through here too, but primarily the images are of communicating, because the purpose of this is to talk about the implications for the field of art education. These pages are done in watercolor, and a lot of them have this paste paper, which is a patterned paper underneath. So here we've got a nice communications tower. And then the same here. And some of the approaches that I took in earlier sketchbooks will make a brief appearance, like the checkerboards. I love the way that this text goes across here, and that's that white pen. I find that really just a very attractive. Here's another communications tower, some more checkerboards that go across here. This is a project I used to work with my students about how to create reflective surfaces. And so this is kind of like talking about techniques that I worked with my students. And then this page right here of, again, communications towers. I talked earlier about how when you have pages that are mismatches, so they've got a bright orange here and a green textured page, creating a unifying painting over the two of them is a very effective way to tie this all together. And then I've got the text added down here below. Same thing on this page. I've got an orange and a green, which are kind of jarring, but when you pull that across, you'll pick up the little oranges here and the greens, and that ties this whole image together. This next page with communications towers has this split that I had talked about earlier in another book, how there might be a gap in between pages, and so I've covered that with origami paper. And then this one's really interesting here. In this one I did a stitch. I pierced the page and did a stitchery of a communications tower, and it also is on this side. It's a little hard to see on this side because the color matches quite a bit, but it's a two-sided embroidery, so one on that side and one on this side. Again, the paste papers on here, and then this is some imagery of roads, kind of like what is a roadmap for the future for the field of art education, using some of these techniques here. Another communications tower here, people, communications towers. So, those themes are pretty clear. This is another image here that was from one of the sites that we had gone to visit, which was a painting that is in the Indianapolis Museum of Art. It goes up the walls. It's a lovely piece that I just kind of wanted to replicate here. We've got, again, our communications towers across here with some of the text about implications for the future. This final one about broadcasting out, we've got some junk here, some tickets, travel kind of theme. And then there's a nice little cut paper communications tower right here, a little silhouette that shows up quite nicely here. And then the roads, which are the roads to the future. The final image is just this scissors right here, just a kind of a cut, print, send off to the world. And that sort of sums up the last of the 5 books of my dissertation study. There's a link here to the playlist of sketchbooks, and next week what I'll do is continue a series, but I'm going to show some other sketchbooks. I have a few here that I have. Some are altered books. This is a sketchbook that has been drawn. This is one that I bound over tapes, but next week I'm going to start with the ceramics one that I have. So I did a sketchbook while I was taking a class in wheel throwing. So next week what I'll do is I'll just do a flip through of this, a silent walkthrough of this sketchbook. It's just set to music, and I will add that, and I'll continue on a weekly sketchbook tour that is just set to music, and you can take a look at those. They will be on a playlist. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like, and I'd love it if you subscribe so that you can continue to get notifications about my my sketchbook journeys.